Today is my last day of sourcing before I go off to Vegas tomorrow. I'm headed to a thrift store that I mentioned in a vlog I made probably a month or so ago, where some of the volunteers, and they have a good amount of volunteers that are there, were having fun making some comments about what I was buying and how much I was buying and what I was using it for and mistreating books and that sort of thing. So we'll see if I have some entertaining experiences there again, but I'm going to be going back because they do have some good stuff there, good books. We'll see what happens. So this is the last little bit. I'm trying to build up some inventory so I can be ready for my shipment, my next shipment when I get back, and hopefully I'll find some stuff in Vegas, but if not, I'll at least have 40 or 50 items here to have something to send in. So let's see what happens. This was one heck of a sourcing run at the thrift store. Didn't have any issues. The woman was not there. That was that was tossing my books around and that sort of thing. But I found some great books, CDs, and I even made my first vinyl purchase. There was a lady putting new books, new donated books out on the shelf, and two of them ended up grabbing for good money. One of them going for FBA $22, and there's not very many copies either. 1,000 Gifts by Ann Voskamp. This one, which is in, I believe, very good shape. FBA offers are starting at $22. It's got a good rank. I think it's under 200,000 and a lot of ratings, so it's a popular book. And the MF prices are a little bit higher, not quite up to $20, but it should be able to sell for that for around 20 bucks. I found about 4 CDs, 2 of which are going for really good money. There's one that's a religious one, Larnell Live, I believe it's called. And this one starts at, I believe it was $16. And again, these CDs are $1 at this thrift store. And that one is ranked pretty well, so that should move quickly. And then I got another CD, which is an interesting one, or in terms of the pricing and whatnot. Dion and the Belmonts Reunion. So it looks like some oldies. I'm not sure. It's from 1972, live at Madison Square Garden. Again, a lot of these live albums, as well as tapes, do really well. This one's interesting because the rank's good, and there's no FBA offers. The MF offers start at $15. There's 2 of them at $15, and they jump up to $23. So considering there's no FBA offers, I can probably price it higher, over $20, possibly even up to 30 bucks. I'll probably price it a little bit higher, see if it sells. If not, I can lower it. So that was a good find as well. I like that one too because there's not that many copies. So the great find was this one called Master Life, Avery T. Willis. That's a book set. There's actually 4 sort of workbooks in here. And the awesome thing is they are not filled in. They're in very good condition. It's almost like new condition, actually, this entire set. But I'll list it as very good. And the rank is great in books, and it's going for, there's a new copy for a lot of money. There's not very many used copies, and the least expensive merchant fulfilled is about $58, $59 before shipping. So about 62 bucks. I'll be able to list that one for over 60, probably more like 69, possibly even more if I want to sit on it. So that was a great find. It was $4 to buy, but listed for 70 bucks. It's going to be incredible return. So found some good stuff, and I found some other books that are a little less profitable. Well, they don't pay out as much, they're more around the $10 range, but a lot of those are moving quickly. I found some fiction books as well, and went through the fiction books pretty quickly, found a handful that are ranked really well and can move quickly. That's the thing that I wanted to touch on is, are you willing to sell a book for, let's say, $8.95, even $7.95 if you get it for 50 cents and it sells quickly? So let's say you make $3 off the book, you paid $3, take the 50 cents out that you paid for, $2.50, of course, also inbound shipping. So maybe you made $2.15 or something. Is it worth it? Well, if it sells really quickly, I feel like it is, and I'm already there, so I don't mind making that extra profit. Even if I found 50 books that are going for over $20, and I found 10 that are going for $8 to $10, I would still get those other books because it's not more work. I'm already there. I'm already sourcing, and when I have to go and clean them up, these books they don't have stickers on them, they don't have markings on them, so I don't really have to clean them. I just have to list them and ship them off. So I don't mind, doing the extra tiny little bit of listing and shipping to make more money and spend the 50 cents on the books. There's some people that employ the strategy of looking for higher priced or higher value books, which is perfectly great if that's what you want to go for. But that seems to me like that's more for someone that might not have very much time to source or has to go a little bit further to source. I don't have to go very far in general to thrift stores or to yard sales, estate sales. Book sales, on the other hand, sometimes I have to go a little further. But it just depends on your situation. I'm all for finding more valuable books that are $30, $40, $50 and up if you have more of a steady supply, steady source. But I'm not going to pass on the ones, for me personally, I'm not going to pass on the ones that are $10, that are, let's say, in the $9 to $11 or $12 range. I'm not going to pass on those because I'm already there. I don't have to drive that far for them in general. Even if I had to go to 30 miles away to a book sale, assuming that I got a decent amount of books, let's say I got 50, 60, 70 books, and 20 of them are going for around $10, that's still for me worth it. I'm not saying that someone who only goes for higher value books is doing it wrong, or that the way I'm doing it is right. It's just different ways of doing it, right? This all depends on your situation, your reality and your day-to-day schedule and the time that you have and the energy that you have and that sort of thing. If you don't want to spend time sourcing, cleaning, listing, shipping less profitable books, let's say in the $10 to $12 range or somewhere in there, then definitely don't do it. As long as you're finding enough high value books that are going for over $20. Well, it depends on what your range is. Could be over 25, 30, depends. But as long as you're finding books that are in that higher range, as long as the books are going to sell, you're still going to be able to make sales, and your average sale price, your ASP is going to be higher. As long as you can get enough of those together, it could make sense for you. But at any rate, I'm going to, at least at this point in my FBA career, I'm going to source books in all the different profit ranges. I got some books today that are around that $10 or even less, but they're selling quickly. Even if I'm only going to make $2.50, $3 profit after all expenses and fees and everything, I'm still going to make profit, and that's going to be a good return on my money. 50 cents into $3 is a good return. That's 5 to 6 times my money, what I spent, and that's just, compared to a lot of the people that do retail arbitrage, that go to get a lot of the other different types of products. They're happy when they do 100% return. One times, they spend $10 and they make 20, and they double their money and they're happy. So I got some good books. And the other thing I got, which I mentioned briefly, so I bought my first vinyl. It is called the Bill Gaither Trio, the very best of the very best for kids. You can see it. Got a bunch of crowns. The cool thing about the vinyl, it's got some really cool artwork and photos, in addition to other things. But so this one, I looked at the kids ones. They didn't have very many vinyl, but I heard that kids sell well, kids vinyl, just like VHS, right? And also some CDs. I decided to start to learn about vinyl because I see it so much. That's the big reason. I see it so much. It's become very popular. So that means that people are willing to spend money on it. And also, from what I understand, not that many people are selling vinyl because they feel like it's too much work and whatnot. So there's not going to be, from what I understand, there's not going to be as much competition from other sellers, which is, case in point, is this one here was ranked 191,000, which is pretty good in music, and there's only one other offer, and it's an MF offer. One other offer. So I'll be able to list this one, assuming that everything's in order with the record. I'll be able to list it for at least $17, $18, and I got it for $1. Being the only FBA is great, good rank, and decent money. So the only thing that I need to do to make this happen is I need a record player. That's right, I don't have a record player. So I need to have a record player so I can test the records to make sure that there's no issue or issues. Because there's some possible light scratches on this, on the CD or on the vinyl. But from what I understand, as long as it's not too deep of a scratch, then it's probably okay, but it's still good, with some scratches to take a look at it. So I'll be slowly getting into vinyl, just learning it and expanding. So I want to start to learn about which vinyl records to look up. What do I need to, how do I need to prep it? How do I need to send it in? All of that stuff, clean it. There's a lot of things that go into it, but it's worth it because I come across a lot of records. So not only now, once I learn records, am I looking at books, CDs, VHS tapes, but I can also look at records. That's a fourth one. I kind of look at video games if they're available. But so that'll be 5 categories, 4 main ones. So books, CDs, VHS right now for me, and including vinyl, opens up a whole nother world. It should be fun. So I think it's good to keep learning in this business and keep growing. And trying to get better and trying to expand things, right? Hopefully, at the end of the year, I'll have even more categories. I don't know what they will be, but I'm trying to do all kinds of categories so that when I go to these sales and thrift stores, I can make money, right, off of a lot of different stuff. So I'll be heading to Vegas tomorrow, start doing some vlogs about being in Vegas, and hopefully being able to do some thrifting at least one day. That should be fun, and I will see you in the crazy town. If you've never been to Vegas, it's kind of crazy. I'm sure you have, but maybe you haven't. Remember, keep booking.